It's always been a trend in sick societies, especially where abandonment issues seem to be predominant. There seems to be this trend where people are telling you it is very bad to accept things. You're probably gonna be taken through a guilt trip, through shaming if you receive things. And miserable people will always teach you that you have to give because they themselves aren't capable of giving. So someone has to give to them. They can only spread their misery just like a virus attempts to spread to any individual that it can infect enough so that it can infect and then provoke them to infect it as well. From generation to generation, misery has been spread like this. And some people manage to go by it, some people simply succumb to it. But if you take a good look around you, you will see one thing. Even though most of the people in your life, most likely miserable, obviously, because we live in a miserable society, and we live in a sick society, and in a sick society, the misery is your only Bible. Nothing else matters because ultimately, when you are surrounded by sick, miserable folks, if you're not being miserable and you're attempting to do things for yourself, they will police you into becoming ignorant and miserable like them. When you look at these people, they will all teach you don't take, right? Don't take, always give, always give. It is always good to give. Yes, but to what extent? Because in the end, if you just give, you're gonna, run out of resources. But when you give, ask yourself what those people are doing. Exactly the opposite. They're telling you don't take, but when you give them, they just take without any problem. When it's your time to receive, where's everyone else? You know, I only feel alone when that would happen, and I can hear crickets around, right? There's nobody when it comes to you being given something. But you just give, 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 until one day when you ask yourself, wait, when's my turn to receive? And everyone will simply vanish because, many people are just, passing by. Even if they might be even your relatives, your blood relatives, family. They're just, apparently, they live life as if they're just passerbys. And, it's only important that you give them some of your attention or something. They'll guilt trip you if you don't. And then if you follow your own path, they're gonna pull you down and try to deter you from it in any way, shape, or form. But God forbid you become rich or you strike it big, you'll see they will self-invite in your life, right? What will be their same dogma? Well, it is always good to give, They're gonna start with things that they sacrifice themselves for you, where ultimately they didn't do much. See, as a parent, it is your responsibility to give your child food and shelter, right? Everything else nature handles. You're not controlling how their DNA functions, you're not controlling how their cells divide and how their body regenerates. You're only controlling the quality of food that you give to them and how much shelter you can give. Yes, that much power one parent has for their children. But if you want to be a conscious parent and create less of a monster that your current generation is creating and breeding also, well, the point is you have to take more conscious decisions. You have to understand your child is not something or someone you own. You don't own anyone anything, and nobody doesn't own anything to you. So when people ask of you, well, it is polite to learn how to tell them a polite no. In some people's cases, those who are even more aggressively miserable, well, a polite fuck you would always be also a possibility. So in life, one has to learn that giving is good, being generous is good, but give to people who might also give you back. Because in miserable societies, everyone would just take. But no one would want to give, because in misery, abandonment is one of the great pillars of misery. When people feel abandoned, they will attach themselves to all sorts of things. Haven't you noticed? The more you keep a certain thing in your room or around you, in your house, wherever, it becomes harder and harder for you to give it up. Why? Because it becomes somewhat impregnated with your energy, and sooner or later it feels as if it is part of your system. It feels that giving that thing away is like giving up a limb, right? So hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. Take care, enjoy life, and this being said, Ferenjan Board signing out.